I was asking a young Earth creationist a while ago what they do with the idea that the starlight that comes to us is, millions and even billions of years old. How do you deal with the fact that they can tell using very, very advanced scientific methods that light, wherever it originated from, it didn't obviously just get here. It had to travel to us, and that travel time took, millions and billions of years to get here. How do you deal with that? And their answer was, well, God created that star, and it literally is, 13 billion light years away from us, but and that light literally is traveling to us, but God created all the light in the middle. Like he literally created it deceptively to make it look like it was 13 billion years old, but he created all the light that would need to travel in the middle, so that when we see it, we're tricked. And it's almost like
it's
some
such
other
a
ways.
jump, isn't it? It's such a oh yeah, it's all fake, like the dinosaurs. I'm in a group which I still to this day can't work out whether it's a trolling Facebook group or a real Facebook group where it's called Christians Against Dinosaurs, and I can't work out. I don't know if you're in that group. No. I quite enjoy that, and I think that half of it's a load of non-religious people trolling Christians, and half of it might actually be Christians genuinely believing that dinosaurs weren't real, and I think a lot of it's just this anti-science perspective that we've got. And I think we do have to be critical of the scientific process. We do have to sit back and think, actually, does this work? Is this the right way to be doing things? Is what scientists are doing effective, and not just taking things at blind faith, because I think that there sometimes is a little bit of what's the word, the scientists know best, or like the scientists are doing their thing and not really I think that kind of what's the word, that is a sort of mistaken way of looking at science, because science is ever evolving. It's not the same as religion, where it's kind of, that is ever evolving through culture, but it's different in the sense of there are some set traditions and some set rules that you need to follow, whereas with science there is a scientific method, but the findings are ever evolving. And I think that people seem to sometimes be like, but that's true. It's fact. So I think that it does, and that's not for me. Some people go too far and reject science altogether, and that's kind of the other end of the spectrum. So I think there are some people who just go, science is king, and then you've got the other side of people going, oh, science is absolute baloney, they're just trying to trick us, conspiracy theorist type thing. Whereas I feel like perhaps there's not exactly middle ground. I think I'm probably closer to the science is king side, but there's kind of a balance where you can go, actually there is a bit more philosophical thought that needs to be given to the process of science.
And it checks and balances to it.
Yeah, exactly. But I think what my dad and these young Earth creationists and climate change deniers and all sorts, and actually it's interesting that quite a lot of those tend to be fundamentalist Christian. Why? I don't know what my dad thinks about climate change, but a lot of that is basically like, we know best and the scientists are wrong and they're just trying to trick us. They're it's kind of like not